Hi, welcome to my blog. My name is Tom Shu, and today we're going to do another Lightroom tutorial. And in this tutorial, we're going to do softproofing. Softproofing is a part of Lightroom that allows you to judge how your prints are going to come out. The whole idea behind it is you can test what the image is going to come out like on your paper before you ever print it, saving you ink and paper. Usually, even with softproofing, it's going to take you 4 or 5 prints to get it nailed perfect, because you're going to have to judge how the print looks. That's the final result, is how it looks. Now, there's lots of different papers out there and lots of different labs out there, and all of them work within certified color spaces. Each paper gets measured and a profile gets created for it, much like it happens when you profile your monitor. You get an ICC profile. I believe it's the International Color Consortium or something like this. It judges or sets a standard for everyone to be able to measure color. So if you look here in the toolbar, you'll see this option that says softproofing. You can check it, and you'll notice that the histogram turns into, first of all, the background turns white. It's a viewing area. It's a high contrast area trying to mimic the color of white that the paper actually is. And in this one, it's Moab Somerset Velvet, and it happens to be for an R3000. Each ICC profile isn't just for the paper, but it's actually for a paper and a printer. So it's an output profile. If you look over here, this is a highlight warning, much like a histogram highlight warning, but instead of clipping the whites and blacks, over here we have the output gamma. It's called the show the destination gamut warning, so that means the output device. And this one here is designed to show you the clipping on your monitor. Okay, so you can see that there is some blue in there. If I click on this, there's some blue representing that clipping, that it's out of the ability for the monitor to actually reproduce the color. The color is represented by a number, a mathematical number, and that number falls outside of the ability for the monitor to display it. So when you're dealing with the printer, you can see that all of these colors fall out of the color space that's available for this piece of paper to be able to print. So you can change different profiles by clicking this drop down box, okay? And to simulate what the ink or what the paper will look like, the ink and paper, you check this box and you notice that it dulls the screen down. Well, that's representing how the paper looks. A paper's not backlit like an LCD monitor, so again, it's not going to get you exactly how it's going to look. It's just simulating it so that you can get close on your output. So instead of 6 or 7 tries to get your perfect print, it might take you 3 or 4 if you use these profiles, which can save you a lot of paper and ink, and that stuff's expensive. It can also save you a lot of time if you're dealing with labs, because you can go in and say, for example, we pull up a White House custom color, and this happens to be glossies up to 12 by 18, and so that's White House custom color lab ICC profile. Now, they have one for metal, and I can check and see I'm out of gamut everywhere on this print. So now I don't want to change this image here, right? I want to keep this intact. However, say I wanted to send a image to ICC, to a White House custom color, I would load up the type of print that I'm reprinting at White House custom color, the profile, load that up, and then I will create a proof copy. Notice the image name is down here. It's done by date, and it's an image file, and it's a raw file, 0929. Now watch what happens when I create a proof copy. Watch the name. So that it created a virtual copy. You see that corner flipped up, and it gave the name of the printer profile or the paper profile for that actual image. So I'm not going to change anything on the existing image. I'm only going to use this proof copy for that White House print in glossy. So now we'll turn this warning on, and sometimes you're not going to be able to get the color exactly right. In order to change it, what we'll do is we go down to HSL, okay, which stands for hue, saturation, and luminance. And what we'll do is we'll choose the saturation slider, and this one here says, if you hover it, it'll say adjust by dragging in the screen. So we'll go over here to where this red blocked up area is, and we'll bring the saturation down until that starts to go away. Now as you can see, the image isn't going to look anything like it did before with that rich purple, and you're just sometimes not going to get it. So we'll go to the hue and we'll try to adjust the hue and change it or shift the color. So if we go that way, it's just going to add it worse. And you know, this probably would not be a good print for paper, because it falls way out of gamut and there's nothing we can do to save it. Now if we don't care about the color itself, you know, we can go back into saturation again and try to select more area and desaturate it, but we've pretty much pulled that saturation down. Let's pull it some more. Okay, so there it is. So now we've got it somewhat within control, but the image looks nothing like it did before. I mean, if you can live with that and you're happy with that, this was the image that we made. However, this is the image that will go to print, and to me that's not a good idea, so this would not be a good candidate for printing. So let's look at a different one that maybe has a little less control issues. So we'll look in this one here, and this one here is a little bird, and we'll select the warning, and you'll see that we're clipping with this particular paper. Maybe we'll try a different paper just so we can pull it up. We're going to try the Epson Photo Glossy paper. Okay, so now you see that some of the papers have the ability or a wider gamut to handle color. So right here we're only clipping in this blue area right here. So that's easy to fix. Okay, we'll let it load that preview, and we'll slide down here to the HSL just as before, and we'll grab the hue saturation, and I'm just going to shift the hue this time. We'll slide it down. Ooh, we went the wrong way. Okay, there it is. So now it says, this is the warning. It says, do I want to create a virtual copy, or do I want to continue to make adjustments on my original file? No, I want to create a proof copy. So we'll create a proof copy, and you'll see that it's going to give us the paper profile, which is that Epson R3000 photo paper glossy, and I can continue in without making any changes to the original. So we'll come down here to this yellow, we'll get rid of that, and now this file is ready to print. So hopefully this video will teach you a little bit about soft proofing and why you might want to do it, and how not to manipulate your originals. I want to thank you for stopping by my blog today, and until next time, we'll see you soon.